All right. So there you go. Boxo breakdown this week is Hunter Lawrence versus Jason Anderson. And um, I should say it's probably with the Lawrence brothers versus Jason Anderson. And it was pretty comical, I think. What happened this weekend in a fun way. But there's definitely some massive beef. And so what we did at Title 24 is we wanted to put how all this crap started, okay,
Mhm.
in kind of numerical order, if you will. So the first thing, this is where it started, is in San Diego.
Yeah.
In the main event, Jett was getting frustrated at Anderson, hogging up the lines. I mean, everyone in this class would have done
And
that, right? It's for
and
position. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And by the way, that right there, totally clean, ran him high, no issues. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
we know each of their traits, right? So obviously Jason wasn't pumped, and now we see afterwards right
the
here on
top. Yeah,
the talk, the helmet grab, like getting in each other's face. So this is San Diego. This is what the first domino that fell. Oh yeah, there we go.
yeah. They're grabbing helmets, all that. Okay, so this is where the beef kind of started,
Hmm.
right? And then after this, like I'm sure that maybe they had a little run-ins here and there. I think something happened at Birmingham in a practice start, like they do a practice start, and Anderson closed the door on him, but Jett wasn't letting off either. But this is Nashville. Okay, let's
Yeah.
fast forward to Nashville. This was early in the race, and we weren't able to talk about it, and like just because from a time sensitive thing, I mean, we could sit here and break this down all day long. So that was another run in with Hunter this
Yeah.
time in Anderson. It was early in the race. I mean, Anderson probably had a lot more. If we go down and break it down more, I'm sure Anderson had a lot more speed coming there, and Hunter, I'm guessing, wasn't anticipating that he was going to do that, right? Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, look, that's a tough spot to be in right there. That tight turn, but and then obviously previous run in San Diego, JA's must have something out for the old Lawrence boys.
Dude, so okay, that's the second thing that we had on tape. Again, like I said, I think there was something at Birmingham also in practice, but whatever,
Yeah,
who cares? So then we go to Salt Lake City, and the top came off the pot today, and here you go.
yeah. Jason just right up the inside, kind of blows Hunter out. I see that AMA has given warnings and fines as Anderson comes up underneath of Hunter. Yes, he hits him. I also,
What do you think, dude? Like I mean, he didn't.
okay, here's my take on it. If because of the previous run-ins with Hunter, with Jett, like that was, I think, an awareness deal. Like Hunter should have known who was behind him and at least checked. And if he didn't check and he didn't, I don't know. If he did check and he's like, oh, it's Jason Anderson, you could see how Hunter came in quick and tried to get around, but Jason wasn't having it. He was going to run. He was running him up into the bales regardless. So I think right at the last second, right here, he should have come up and tried to cut down, slowed down. He would have avoided that. Um, Obviously,
And
he
and you
didn't.
look and you watch Jason's line. I bet Jason would have taken that same line had Hunter not have been there. Did he use up the track? Of course he did.
Yes,
I tend to agree with you on this one. Hunter could have avoided that for sure.
I think he should have. And if he didn't know,
Roll it
he
again.
should have known, especially with their past track record between the two of them. Jason getting into Hunter, Jason getting into Jett. Um, I most of the things that I see, like it's not like, look, I'll use Barsha for example. Like a lot of the stuff that I do disagree with a lot of how he races and rides in a lot of times, or have in the past. We know he's trying to clean that up, but I do disagree. But like that there to me is a racing, kind of a racing incident. Yes, do they have some beef? Yeah, probably. But also that to me wasn't added like a T-bone. That to me was a full racing incident. So if they're fining off of and giving warnings off of that, um, I I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing, because to me that's a racing incident. Now, I get why they fine and give the warnings, because they don't want this to keep going and get worse and fester and become a real problem. At this point, it's not a problem. I think it's great racing.
All right, so I didn't catch this, but I found some supporting information from Wygant had sent it to us from Racer X and the crew there that they had shooting and had the rights to. But look at this. This is afterwards.
Yeah, just
And
Jett coming in and giving him the business for his brother. But dude, Jett right almost here goes down. Watch him. Look at his leg and foot. Like he almost loses it. So it was a ballsy move, it was a ballsy move in a championship state in, time and everything, right? At that night. So dude, that was ballsy. I mean, he could have completely kept his nose clean, and just rode that thing rode it in seventh place and just, called it a day. But
dude, can you imagine, dude, what if he did something there and like broke his rear brake, and ripped the caliper off or something like that, or
I say
the brake line.
That's why I say ballsy move, because he could have kept his nose clean, but
then he looks back.
Yeah, but once again, racing incident. I think it's good. It's good for the sport. It was good for that night. If we wouldn't have had those two kind of incidents in the 450 main event, it would have been pretty uneventful.
Yeah, that's just emotions. I don't have a sibling, so I don't know what it's like to I wouldn't know what it's like to get my back up or defend a sibling. I know what it would be like for my family members and stuff. So I've tried to put myself in someone other than my siblings. I know what it would be like. So I'm not in that position, so I don't know. But clearly, I mean, dude, there's no secret, dude. They're a family. They stick together. They're ride or dies. And you know what? I kind of can sympathize with Jett, but at the same time, like big picture, like that could have easily turned out really bad.
Good. He almost fell, kind of. I mean, he could see their foot dragging, bike kind of sliding. Like it wasn't ideal. It wasn't like this super calculated like pass where it was just made everything happen and there was no mistakes on his part. Look, he slams into the side of Jason right here, gets back on the gas real hard. Look, the front wheel almost kind of rolls off the side of the bike, and then not to mention things that could have happened with the motorcycle per se. We know rotors can be bent, but nonetheless,
that was right before this happened right here. Whoa. So clearly his mind wasn't in the game at this point. Yeah, so that's right before that happened. So interesting. All right. So now the last thing is we have the press conference, and I just saw this before we recorded this pod. We're recording. So this is okay. Now Hunter's going to go to the principal's office, and I said this like, okay, you're getting lapped, and then you're messing with the guy. Like, I'm like, all right, I know it's the last race, not a whole lot on the line other than your safety for these two guys, but I don't know. Like, I think I'm going to give my analysis on what I think they should have done, but go ahead. What do you think about that?
Well, that is where I could see now. I'll take my words back on the fine and the warning. That is acceptable for a fine and a warning. Being lapped and interfering in that race. Obviously I saw what happened, previously, Jason putting him down. Not, but yeah, probably not the best move when you're
right.
Lapped.
Dude, yeah, when you're getting lapped, you can't do this. So pow. Well, okay. So now Anderson got a piece of Hunter, and then then a couple laps later, Jett gets him. Now check this out. This is after the race.
Yeah.
Okay. This is after. They're getting in a little argument. I was looking for the helmet grab.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. And then look at now they're gonna get after each other again. Not sure. They should be mic'd up. Can you imagine if they had Cardo comms?
Awesome if it was mic'd up, dude.
Hey, let's go have a beer together and talk about it, dude. Yeah. Come on, let's do this. Yeah.
Jacob Hayes right there, just making sure, bodyguarding it out.
You see his mechanic. You see Hunter's mechanic. He's tapping Anderson's mechanic like, "Hey, dude, let these two guys do what they're doing. We cool."
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No,
there
look,
you go.
I like
I
it.
mean,
It's controversy. It, like that.
well,
That's what I'm not saying we need that, right? But I do think that it
dude.
brings this is emotion. It's the last race. It's championships on the line. All these things. I think it's good for the sport.
It is okay. So it doesn't, dude. It doesn't stop there. Um, Aaron, roll that little sound bite from Jett in the press conference.
I think he just forgot that there was two Lawrences out there, and he did it right in front of one of the other Lawrences. So, yeah, guys like them, they just need to hit in the mouth sometimes. So, here's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. You kind of got to stick up to the bully. I'm not saying Jason is the bully, but yeah, he pulled a move in front of Jett, pulled a move on Hunter in front of Jett, and that was the repercussions. So
Wait, like, okay, hold up. Okay, this is what I think on the situation. I said it in the broadcast, but now this is what I love about Title 24. Got some more time to talk about it. Is it ideal? Of course, it's not. Going back to the beginning of all this, when Jett got upset, I understand why he's upset. Do I agree with how everything went down from both riders in San Diego? No, not necessarily, but I see both sides. I understand both. And clearly and truly, Jason did nothing wrong at San Diego.
no, he did
Nothing.
not. Nope.
No, he's not going to pull over for anyone. And dude, Jett knows that, but Jett's a fiery little young kid, he's a rookie, and he's not going to learn unless he goes through this. I've done stupid stuff like this, even dumber than this. So yep. I'm not, like, I see both sides, I guess. And so you fast forward and then all the B-roll that we just showed you. At the end of the day, dude, like, yeah, that was, remember when we talked about Birmingham? This was in practice.
Yes.
It's like, what's happening here? Now, I could look at this and tell you that what happened in Birmingham and tell you, like, well, that's actually, it's not just Anderson's fault. It's Jett's too. Like, just slow down. If the dude if Anderson's on the inside of you, don't mess with him. Like, just take the high road and go. And I think that there's going to be times where Anderson's going to take the high road too. So going back, I'm going to land my plane. Listen, dude, it's racing. And I just think they're bickering and going back and forth about petty BS. And dude, I think for all three of them, I think that they have too much to lose. And I'm putting my dad hat on. And if any of these kids were my kids, I'd be like, hey, dude, y'all go. Well, Jett can't have a beer. Go somewhere, go play golf, go hang out, go do something that mutually all three of you guys can do, and go figure it out. Like, try to come to terms, air your grievances with each other, and be done with it. Because at the end of the day, and here's what Anderson talks about. I like his open honesty. Was trying to go 2 for 2 on the helmet grab last night, but on the real people, fans of our sport being hating so hard on my character based off of the 20-minute dirt bike race could give you more insight to my life and more interviews to persuade you I'm a good person, but F that. Blah, blah. He is. I like Anderson. I do think he's a great guy. Dude, he's a family man. And my point in telling you, like, dude, all three of you guys, go figure it out. Get over this. Straight up. And you know what? I'm sure they probably neither of those sides agree with what I'm saying, but what would you do? What would you do?
I don't know if you're gonna get what you said there. Hey, go play a round of golf together and work this out. I doubt that's happening for sure. But what I do agree with on what you said was there's too much to lose, and I will say that there's too much to lose on Jett's behalf and Hunter and also Jason. Like, for example, we're going to start a new season or a new outdoor, and we're starting outdoors here in a couple weeks. Jett is obviously the favorite. And if you make enemies and enough of them out there, it could come back to bite you in areas or at a time that isn't really ideal. And it probably could have been avoided if if some of these run-ins in the past haven't happened, and you don't let the emotions get a hold of you. But we're dealing with a lot of money on the line, championships on the line, also young. Jett's younger than Jason and younger than his brother. But it is kind of but to back that up, it is a sport where there is contact. There is contact sport, and I think it is a contact sport to a certain degree. And I think that it adds to our racing. Like I had said, if none of this would have happened, number one, we wouldn't have this topic right now on Title 24, and number two, that main event would have been pretty lackluster, in my opinion. Now we have, so it comes with a whole. As long as these guys can not get over their skis too far and have it become a problem like the Jason and Barsha for a while there, last season, where it was just every time you turn around they're together, AMA's fining, it's affecting their racing. That's what they need to avoid, is having it affect their racing. I love the emotion.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm like, if you can't go to play golf, whatever, yes, but I'm saying put it behind you. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't in the grand scheme of things. When I look back, I think everything's been silly to this point. So, and the reason that I say put it behind you is because exactly what you said, RV, because at some point down the road, you're not going to need a favor, but you don't need anybody making your job that much harder. So,
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.